What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, my people? I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. It is Friday, my dudes, the day that we have been waiting for. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. I'm your host, SG, and today's topic is going to be crazy, man. The things that I have to talk about, and it's some serious shit, man. And I've come across some content that someone else has been creating, and I just love what he's been talking about. I don't know why I never came across this kind of content, and maybe because people aren't sharing this kind of stuff. And I feel like if this kind of content is out there and people aren't even bothered about it, it's like, what the fuck are we doing, man? So we're gonna talk about three things. So the first thing is I'm gonna share I'm gonna watch a video together, and I'm gonna give you some feedback on what I think what this guy is talking about, and I kind of feel like it really affects what's going on in Kenya and how fucked up the Kenyan police is. And I don't give a shit. I'm gonna just say it right here, right now. The Kenyan police are the most corrupt people on the face of this planet. Kenya was number 3 as ranked as the 3rd most corrupt country in the world. I think it's the most corrupt country in this world. I mean, this is a police officer, and we're going to be hearing what he has to say in regards to, he used to be a police officer, and we're going to hear it from his mouth, literally what he has to say about how fucked up the Kenyan police and how corrupt they are. And so that's the first thing we're going to do. Obviously, the entire video is in Kiswahili. And since I'm an expert at speaking Kiswahili, I will be your translator, of course, SG, the translator in Swahili. We've already got a viewer, so thank you so much for checking out the channel. Oh, another thing, I did get like 2 subscribers over the weekend, last week or something. So shout out to the new subscribers. I think it was just Kiki or something. I can't remember the other one, but I really do appreciate the fact that you have subscribed again. I think you unsubscribed or something, but it doesn't really matter. Thank you for coming back. And I think we were supposed to like meet up when I was back in Kenya, but unfortunately I've just been all over the place. So I'm sorry if we didn't meet up, and also the other people, Sab is obviously one of them. But yes, anyway, so let's go through this video, because this dude is just speaking some things that just resonate with me. And so we're going to go through this content, and we're going to see what this guy is talking about. I'll be a translator, because there's so many things that's just messed up with the system. Okay. So we need to discuss this. It's, the thing is, the content that's trending in Kenya right now is content around, oh, this guy's in a relationship with this dude. Content around, oh, who's the most famous person, who's the celebrity here and that. It's like that. It's got nothing to do with how fucked up the economy is, how messed up and corrupt the government and the police are. I mean, these are the things that we need to be discussing, right? This is the kind of content that I want you Kenyans who are watching this, to like say something about this, because how can this just be like, and it's just shocking that I look at this guy's content, right? Even the stuff that he's talked about. I'm going to share the link right now. Actually, I'm going to share the link right now in the live chat. You guys need to watch this. Check out his channel. It's called Truth Watchdog. Truth Watchdog is the channel name. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to put this on the live chat so you guys can definitely check it out over here. And of course, if you have any comments or whatever, just, drop a live chat, whatever. So that's the link there. So we're going to watch this video together. He's speaking in Swahili the whole time, but I'm your expert translator, so don't worry, you're in safe hands. I will translate as much as I can. That's the first thing. The second thing we're going to talk about is there is a Netflix documentary that got released a couple of years ago, I think. This happened, it was regarding what happened at the Westgate Mall. And I told a couple of my friends to watch it, and one of my friends actually told me to watch it. And it was just documenting the attacks that had happened at the Westgate Mall in Nairobi, and that documentary just shows you how the Kenyan police and the Kenyan SWAT team reacted to that incident. So I'm just gonna break down. So I've got a lot of points that we're gonna talk about that as well. and what my take is on that. And of course, if you guys have any things that you want to add about that, you can obviously do, because it was such a sad state of events. I was completely shocked the way the entire thing was handled. It was ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. And then the third thing we're going to talk about is it's something personal to me, and I'm going to mention it anyway because I think it deserves to be mentioned. Now that I've got this platform, and I feel like if I don't talk about this right now, it might just be forgotten, and 10, 15 years from now, nothing's going to be done and people just forget and move on. But I might as well just mention it. So it's going to be regarding my dad's property and how that situation has been handled for the past 20 years and today. And I'm going to walk you guys through all the messed up things that the Kenyan high courts have done, the Kenyan police have done, and I'm going to mention people, and I've got videos that I'm going to share with you guys because it's all over here. It's literally all over here. All of this shit. We're going to go through these videos, and I've got, even if you have video evidence, it's like, it doesn't matter because you don't have the money, isn't it? Because in Kenya, as long as you are rich, even the rich can get away with murder, and it's like, it doesn't really matter, man. As long as you can bribe someone, you can pay someone, that's it. That's all that matters. So that's how messed up it is. And if someone doesn't really talk about this shit, then, what the fuck are we doing? I'd rather dedicate my time and I have this platform. I rather dedicate my time and efforts to talk about this shit, because it's like no one really gives a fuck. The worst thing is the people don't realize how much power they have. If they just came together and stood up against the corrupt police, none of this shit would be happening today. None of this shit, It's just so frustrating, and it's just so messed up. And every person that I know, every friend that I know, every time that I catch up with them, the first thing that they tell me is, dude, man, I need to get out of Kenya, man. That's how messed up the situation is, And I know some people feel like, oh yeah, this guy's just talking about stuff that we already know. But it's like, look at it from an outside perspective. People who are looking into the country as well, like, foreigners who want to come travel, visit Kenya. It's like they need to be aware of the situation down there on the ground, man. And if no one's going to freaking talk about this on YouTube, I might as well do it. I mean, this guy is doing a phenomenal job. I just love the guy's content. He is just spitting the truth, and I'm just shocked that he's only got 12,000 subscribers. 12,000 subscribers, and his videos got maybe how many views is this? 15,000 views. 15,000 views. You look at other people's content, like Andrew Kibe, for instance. The guy has got over 30, 40,000 views in a couple of hours, right? This video was posted 4 days ago and it got 50,000. Andrew Kibe posted a video about some relationship. Some woman was, dancing naked some other place, and it's like, oh, that video gets like 40, 50,000 views. But this guy is talking about how corrupt the Kenyan police is and how messed up the Kenyan government is. And, he's just barely hitting 15,000. It's like, what the freaking hell, man? And yeah, let's just watch it and let's see what this guy is talking about. I'll pause in between just in case if YouTube starts telling me that I'm copywriting other people's work. But anyway, okay.
Pa Mungu lazima nitubu. Sikizeni hapo wasi. Kuna mapolisi wanaharas wasi sana tao.
So he's talking about how the police are just harassing people in town. So town, every time he says town, he means the central business district. So this is like it's like central London basically. For if you're in the UK, it's like central London basically. It's where all people meet up and do their businesses. And it's like most of the corporations and large businesses are running in the central business district. And so he's talking about how the police just in that area where the people are in large numbers are, and this is how they're treating people. And he's literally got video evidence. Literally, like this guy's got video evidence of all of these things that are happening. It's like if we don't talk about this shit, It's not going to happen. Like, no one is going to take any action. I like the fact that at least some Kenyans are starting to take videos, starting to stand up for their rights, reading up on the law and seeing what is right, what is wrong. Where does the police have the right to arrest me or even question me for what? What have I done wrong? You see? So all of these questions need to be asked. And if we don't spread this information, like, what the fuck then? It's
Tao sahi ni kubaya. Okay? But before we go there, I want to ask these police officers.
Yeah.
Masoja mko sawa. So far soldiers, big up on yourself, brothers. Crew, bado tuko kimoja hata kama niko nje.
Okay, so he's shouting out to the soldiers. So I guess he's been a part of that, that crew.
Respect sana. Masoja wote out there. Mrespectiwe. Okay. Lakini niko na message moja kwa mapolisi. Okay?
So he's got a message for the police.
Unajua polisi unapokosea mtu na unajua uko na power za kumkosea, you don't know how long utakuwa kwa hiyo nguvu ya kuweza kukosea watu.
Exactly. That's very well said. So it's like, if you have the power to go and abuse that power on someone, you need to count because your days are numbered. How many days do you have left before someone catches you and says, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm standing up for my rights. There's only so many people that you can go and, you can just keep abusing with your power.
Okay? Haujui how long utakuwa kwa hiyo nguvu, how long utashikilia pale. It doesn't matter how big you become in terms of promotions. Lakini haujui huyo unakosea, kesho atakuwa nani. Na nataka kuwapatia.
That's the thing, exactly. See, the way they keep abusing people on the streets, catching them illegally and telling them, hey, why are you doing this? You need to pay me like 50 shillings. You need to pay me 100 shillings so that I can let you go. Or arresting people falsely, making up some false accusations and just randomly arresting people on the side of the streets. One of these days, they might arrest someone or do something to someone that, he is maybe probably in power or has the ability to actually make a difference. And until that day comes, these guys don't know what they're doing. So,
example, recently former.
Well, I mean, they know what they're doing, but it's like they're taking advantage of it to a level where it's unfathomable.
IG,
Mr.
Mtiambai.
Fathomable.
Mr. Mtiambai has been caught on camera denying matters zenye zimeonekana, zimechukuliwa na video zimewekwa.
So he's calling out this inspector and he's like, he has been given video evidence, like he has submitted video evidence, and I think he already showed some video evidence to this inspector and told him, like, what the freaking fuck, man? This is what's going on in the country. This is what's going on the ground. This is what's happening to your people. And what are you doing about it?
Lakini ana deny could defend that which is evil.
3 police officers were filmed assaulting a motorist at Barnabas area along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. Police Inspector General Hilary Mutiambai trashed the video clip of the incident, saying it did not show the whole incident and that the motorist assaulted the police officer.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit, man.
This is Barnabas area of Nakuru. This man, identified as Francis Koigu, was confronting the police officer for allegedly hitting his curb.
Allegedly? I know for a fact, and I've been stopped so many times, but not only traffic police, but just the normal police. They would stop you and they would act like you cannot touch them. And the basic instinct of when you see a police officer in Kenya is you want to run. You first check if you even have a wallet on you so that you can maybe give them some money or something, like, oh shit, it's a police officer. It's like the natural instinct is, oh shit, I need to have some money on me so that I can pay this guy. Man, it's so fucked up.
The argument cut short after these other 2 police officers showed up, and together the 3 officers assaulted Francis. Police IG Hilary Mutiambai,
man, that's just so messed up. I mean,
has dismissed the video clip. In a statement, the police IG says that the video circulating did not show the full incident as it occurred. In the statement, the IG continues to say, and I quote, the motorist was overlapping along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway upon...
Okay, but fine. Even if he was he wasn't following the law, right? And you pulled him over. The guy had pulled over. You could literally see that he was pulled over. What gives the police officer the right to hit his car? Imagine that person probably just bought that car, brand new car. He must have just bought it the other day. It must be even still on a loan, and the guy has literally just, the police officer just come over and just whacked it with his stick.
Stopping, he assaulted the police officer. Members of the public alerted the rest of the officers who were on the other side. Simon Ben was at the scene.
Yeah, so basically that's it. It's just this guy asking him, why did you hit my car? Why did you hit my car? You had no right to hit my car.
Amechukua ile swaga keni ile walakuwa nao ile fimbo. Akagonga gari hapa mbele na ni gari kubwa hizi karibu V8 hizi mrefu sana hizi za double cab.
So he's saying that the car was a V8 car. It was a V8 engine. It was a double cab pickup truck basically. Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Pale mbele na ni mpya kabisa. Akaigonga pale.
Yeah, and he says it's a brand new car and he just came out of nowhere and just fucking hit it. Like, what gives him the right?
Jamaa akatoka akauliza askari, kwa nini umegonga gari yangu?
The Inspector General has also
so he just asked him basically point blank, like, what gives you the right to hit my car?
Members of the public against assaulting police officers in uniform and on duty.
Amefanya vituko hapa. Let me tell you guys. Hawa watu wezi resign.
That's the thing, exactly. And then the worst part of it all is like, they'll never resign. They'll still be in that power. They'll still be in that position, manipulating people around them and telling them what to do and control.
Ati personally tu wamedecide ku resign. Unajidanganya. It is not how, that does not happen like that. Unaona? Government ikitoka, polisi ule mwenye alikuwa jana kazi wa Uhuru bado ni polisi mwenye atakuwa wakati wa Ruto. Polisi ule mwenye alikuwa
right. So this is another point that he said. The police officers that have been there in power when a president comes in and then the president changes, it's the same police officers that are still in that same position, manipulating the people and abusing their power.
Wakati mwingine hata kutokana na Kibaki ama hata Moi, utapata bado kuna wengine ni functional hadi wakati huu. Unaona? So
and here's another thing, exactly. When one of these police officers abuses you, right, and then you do go and make a formal complaint, they don't get dismissed. They get sent to go work in a different area.
Unapokozea mtu, haujui kesho Ruto wa kuuza kuku atakuwa Ruto rais wa Kenya.
That's so well said.
So wewe ukiwa hapo in charge, wewe ndio mzito hapo juu, OCPD, OCS, sijui nini, hizo rank zote unapewa. Be very careful how you are used by your leaders. Okay? Because hasa
now, that's another very important point that he's just made. So he's talking about the leaders that appoint these police officers. They now start taking control and telling the police officers what to do. And they could obviously be wrong in the way they direct them as well, right? They could have certain expectations of these police officers to behave in a certain way and treat the citizens in a certain way.
Imebidi mtu ambaye aseme mimi ni mgonjwa nini kutry ku avoid confrontations ama vitu mingi zinaweza tokea. Tunajua kwa ofisi venye vitu zinafanyika, unaona? So mapolisi mimi na waaje, tafadhali, especially mapolisi wa tao, wacheni kusumbua watu.
So he's specifically urging the police in town to just stop their bullshit. Just stop it.
Mnasumbua, mnaiba, mnajua mnaiba. Hizi 50-50 una collect.
Yeah, so he's already just pointed out. And this guy was a police officer. Thank you guys for checking out the channel. This guy was a police officer, and he's just saying it as it is.
Collect laana. Na laana itakacha hapo, utalipia hapa duniani. Najua kuna wengi wenyu wanaenda ku open pseudo accounts kukuja kunitukana. Ni sawa, wewe nitukane, okay? So wewe ni officer.
So he's just mentioning the people. So sorry, I'm just translating this because I'm an expert Kiswahili translator, guys. So yeah, so he's just saying he's talking about people are fighting against him and people are threatening him and trying to like tell him like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Kenya police are so amazing and the best police in the world. How dare you say all these things against them? But people don't realize that they have the power. You sitting there on your ass, you have the power. If you don't speak up, no one's going to speak up for you, isn't it?
Continue insulting me. Utakuwa na watoto siku moja. Mungu atakubariki. Utakuwa na familia yako. Ama labda hata uko nayo. Hiyo familia yako usipolipa italipa. Unaona? Mimi nataka nitetee mapolisi, nisimame na mapolisi, nisimame na majeshi, nisimame na kila mtu wako kwa service. Mimi nataka police akiretire respectively apatiwe.
Yeah.
Apatiwe kila polisi, kila jeshi, wote tukiretire kwa respect. Okay?
Yeah, so he's just basically saying that, you know, he wants the police to do their job in a respectful manner so that when they retire, at least they have a legacy. They have a legacy left behind, and, you know, the citizens can say this guy did a really good job.
Umefanya kazi yako, umepatiana service yako vizuri, wewe umeenda kuchoka pale umetulia. Sisi wote tupewe senior citizenship recognition. Sisi wote tupewe marupurupu ya uzeeni vizuri bila kusumbuliwa. Na mtu akipata ajali katika accident, kazi sio rahisi polisi. Unaona saa zingine mnapigwa huko. Saa zingine umegonjeka.
So he's also acknowledging that, of course, the police officer's job is not an easy job. Of course, even, you know, we understand the economy is messed up. The people are not in a state where they're able to, you know, fend for themselves. You know, some people, you know, the only way that they can make a living is by stealing and robbing, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well, of course. And so it makes their lives more difficult. It's difficult for them to manage the people as well. So we get it that police, we get it that your job is difficult, but at the end of the day, you signed up for this. We didn't force you to sign up for it. When you sign up to be a police officer, you are providing a service to protect and to serve the country. It's not a fucking 9-to-5 job where you're expecting citizens to come and give you money.
Ugonjwa hata ujui umetoka wapi, ushughulikiwe. But hatuwezi kuwa tunasema mshughulikiwe, mpiganiwe, polisi waongezwe mishahara, alafu nyinyi mko hapa hata baada ya kuongezwa kwa mshahara kidogo, you are not happy, bado mnaendelea kuibia watu.
Yes, so that's another point that he's just mentioned is like, fine, we understand your salaries are fucked up. Okay, fine, you've got a messed up salary. But even if you do get a raise, why are you, if you're still not happy with the raise that you received, why do you have to take out that anger and frustration on the citizens and ask for bribes, right? And ask for like money under the table and all that kind of stuff, right? It doesn't make sense. Why are you, it's like if my boss pisses me off and then I go back home and start fighting with my wife, you know, it's like, where the freaking hell is the law? If someone's pissed me off, I take out that anger on that person, the root cause of that. I deal with that problem with the person who's caused the problem. I don't go back home and, you know, take it out on my wife and kids and shit, right? So that's
ukiongezwa madaraka unamea pembe na wewe si shetani. Sikizeni hapa mapolisi. Mimi nataka niwaambie tu example ya the recent one. IG mwenyewe Mzito Mtiambai. What is he going through right now? Nyinyi wote mnajua. You know what he's going through. Eh? Alafu wewe unangoja mwenzako pale anakarangwa, unaambiwa mwenzako akinyolewa chako tia maji. Hold back, jiulize, utu 250 unachukua, archives hakuna mtu atapita pale saa moja. OTC hakuna.
Imagine 250 shillings. He's talking about 50 shillings or 250 shillings that people are paying these police officers on a daily basis. Imagine your salary. I'm just talking to people who don't live in Kenya, right? The average salary or the minimum wage is like, I don't know, 10,000 or 15,000. Well, they raised it to like 15,000 Kenya shillings. 15,000 Kenya shillings, man. And you've got rent, you've got to pay for food and bills and fuel and all this shit. By the time you're done, you've got nothing in the account, and you need to pay a police officer every time he catches you 250 shillings.
Hakuna mtu atapita saa moja. Railways hakuna mtu atapita saa moja. Kuja hapa chini River Road.
That's it. So he's talking about Samoja, I think is 7 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. 7 p.m. every day, 7 p.m. You are not allowed, or you fear, you fear walking in certain areas in the city just so that you do not get caught by the police for walking freely. Talk about being in a free country.
Hakuna mtu atapita saa moja kushika tu watu, kushika watu. Unaenda Pangani. Utaenda Central Police. Hii kushika watu mkiwazungusha upewe 200, upewe 250.
Fuck, man, that's so fucked up. Imagine you're living in a country where you want to go for a meeting at 7 p.m. or you want to go and meet someone at 7 p.m. and you're just walking, minding your own goddamn business, walking along the side of the road, and you just get stopped over by a police officer saying, oh, it's past this certain time, you're not supposed to be here, how dare you be here at this time. It's like,
officer, kuna kesho yako itakuhunt venye umefanya leo.
Yeah, so he's
okay. Kuna maofisa tu, yani out of 100 unapata mapolisi wenye, out of 100 mapolisi wenye unaweza sema afadhali si eti hawa kwa sawa, afadhali 1.
Fuck. So he's talking about out of 100 police officers, there would probably just be one police officer who would be like, you know what, I'm going to follow the law. I'm going to stick to the law and not screw over this person and make false accusations against him and tell him, I'm going to take you to prison, I'm going to take you to court if you don't pay me this bribe.
Saima polisi wanatembea na magari karibu kila mahali wakicollect kwa wines and spirits 50, 100, 150, 200.
Now that's another thing that he's just mentioned. He's talked about he's calling out the police officers who drive around the city and they stop over at every bar and restaurant and collect, like, it's like a mafia basically. Isn't this this is a mafia, isn't it? So they go around to this wines and spirits. So these are the bars and the restaurants, and they collect money as insurance policies so that we can protect you. What the fuck are your taxes doing? You and I was there. We used to pay taxes. Where the fuck are our taxes going? Your taxes, aren't they paying these police officers' salaries, man?
Kila siku. Hakuna.
And this is one thing that I've really realized in Kenya as long as I've lived there, and anyone who's looking to ever move to Kenya or live there, it's like, it doesn't matter how much taxes you're paying. There will always be, whenever you want to get a service from the government or you want to get a service from the police, just be prepared to pay them extra money. You have to pay them. It's like they're not there to serve you. Just remember that they're never there to serve you.
Hakuna wachana na watu mnaita sijui cartels.
It's like the way you'd go and purchase something or you'd go and pay for a service. You have to go and do that with them. And the person who's got the most money, that's the person who's right.
Wachana na makartels. Hakuna watu wanatengeleza pesa nyingi illegally kama polisi. Tusidanganyane hapa.
Yeah, he just mentioned the cartels, exactly.
Mapolisi kila siku kwa Wines and Spirit. Enda uliza Wines and Spirit yoyote randomly. Watakwambia everyday watakujia Monday to Friday watakujia 50. Saturday and Sunday 100 ama 200.
Monday to Friday, they walk in on a daily basis and ask for money.
Polisi.
Well, they don't even ask, sorry. They just walk in and expect to be paid.
Unajilaani individually, utapata pesa, labda hata utajenga, labda hata Mungu atakubariki, utasomesha watoto, lakini haitawahi wasaidia kwa sababu ya kilio cha wenye umeimbia. Officer, uli sign up ukijua you're going to give a service, not to work. Any jeshi, any police officer, mnajua hiyo, your oath is to give service to this country, not to work for this country. Giving.
Yeah, so that's a valid point, man. When you sign up to be a police officer, you're providing a service. You're serving your country, right?
Service does not have a salary. Mnataka mpewe salary?
Exactly. He's saying if you actually wanted a salary, then why did you sign up to be a police officer? You should have done any other job then, right? Like why if money was something of concern to you, if money was important to you, why did you sign up to be a police officer?
Anaweza kulipa pesa enough worth your life. Because exactly when you sign up for a police officer, for a traffic police officer, what you're signing up is death. Nani anaweza kukulipa maisha yako? It's impossible. That's why we sign up for services. To offer services, for us to be there. Ndio hizi familia zingine au watu wanaendesha magari waishi safely. We have to offer what? We have to offer service, and that's what we sign up. That's why kutoka Raima tumekuwa tukivaa uniform mpaka kwa shule yetu tunafaa hizi ma uniform to identify ourselves with what, with services that we are offering, but unatumia oath yako vibaya, unatumia rank yako vibaya, unatumia bunduki yako vibaya, unatumia position yako.
So he's talking about the way the police officers are misusing their firearms, the way they're misusing their power. The firearms thing is a valid point because it's like a police officer. We always hear about stray bullets getting fired all over the place and then innocent people getting shot. It's like, and there's no accountability for the way they even mishandle their firearms.
Yako vibaya kama officer and you're okay. Na ukiambiwa toa hiyo ujinga hapa. Unaongelesha nani wewe? Unaongelesha nani? Papa kuchapa watu makofi, kuharas watu. Sasa kijana wote ukipatikana na hii bag ya mgongo, unaona hii bag yenye umebeba kwa mgongo hii, kuanzia 6 tao utasimamishwa, bag hata itasachiwa.
This is very true. So he's talking about the people that are stopped over just because you're wearing a bag. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that? You're wearing a bag and you're walking in town, the central business district, and you're stopped over and you're searched. I can tell you for a fact over here in this country, in the UK, I've been here for 4 or 5 years now. Shit, it's going to 5 years. I've been here for 5 years, and I've been carrying bags that look like I've got fucking bombs inside. Not even a single person has ever stopped me and told me, "Can I look inside your bag?" The fuck? I used to go to campus. I used to wear my bag, and it's like they stop me over like, "Oh, what's in your bag? What's in your bag? Oh, you're probably carrying a bomb in there." What the fuck kind of bullshit is this, man?
Lakini utaitishwa pesa. Hii nini umebeba? Mbona
Oh
umebeba?
yes, and of course, if they stop you, the first thing they're gonna be is like, "Oh, this is illegal." They'll make up something. "Oh, you're carrying something illegal. You're not supposed to be carrying this. Where's your work permit?" or some fake bullshit accusation, and they'll arrest you, and they'll tell you, "All right, if you don't give us this amount of money, we're not going to let you go. We're going to take you to the police station, and we're going to lock you up." And they love doing this on a Friday. The Friday is the best time for them to like catch you because they know they put you in the prison. You're going to be spending the weekend there. Like, what the fuck kind of a mentality is this?
Mwingine unasimamishwa kama umebeba zile box. Unaona kuna magari huko yanabebanga, inaitwaje? Zinabeba hizi mizigo ya cargo. Hizi ukipeleka tibasi pale, hiyo box unasimamishwa. Wewe mbona unabeba hii box asubuhi?
Yeah, so he's just talking about the people who are just carrying a box. You're carrying a box. Maybe it could be for business. It could be for work. You're transporting some goods. You can't even do that. How the fuck are businesses supposed to run if you keep getting stopped every 2-3 minutes? Like, "Hey, what's in this box? I want to see." And then here's the fucked up thing. They find something valuable. They're going to confiscate it or tell you, "Oh, you haven't paid their taxes for this shit, or you've imported this illegally."
Hii ni kazi gani? This place, yani, the most reputable jobs zenye watoto wadogo enzi zangu mimi. Kwa ukiona polisi unasikia, "Kai Mungu nisaidie nikuwe polisi. Nikuwe mkubwa nikuwe polisi." Yani it has been dirtified.
I think I kind of understood what he said there. My Swahili, since I'm an expert in Swahili, but I'll try and translate that. So he's saying that the kids are just dying to be police officers because they know this is the shit that they can get away with, and this is how they can make money off of it. Like, this is how they can survive. It's like everyone's just the way the people are dying to be in office because they know they can rob and steal. You can steal billions and then pay a fine of millions. It's like it doesn't really apply to you.
This is supposed to be one of the most respectable jobs in the whole of Kenya. Yani mtu yake kisikia babangu ni polisi, atembe shule akisikia akona babake ni polisi, mamangu ni polisi, lakini it is a shame right now. Hata mtu akisikia tu babangu ni polisi, mtu yake kisikia babako ni polisi. Wala wanaibianga watu.
That is so fucking true. Okay, so what he said over there is like, they're kids in school, they're talking, and one of the kids says, "Oh, my dad, he's a police officer." And the rest of the kids are literally going to be like, "Oh, so you mean your dad is like robbing and stealing people in the streets? Is that what your dad does?" That's what he said.
"Oh, unajua baba yetu alisimamishwa alafu polisi akapatiwa 50 bob." Watoto wadogo.
He's talking about the little kids. Even the little kids in Kenya know that this is what the police... I mean, a kid. It doesn't even take anyone with common sense to know that this is fuck. A kid is like, yeah, it's a police officer. They'll stop you. They'll ask for 50 shillings.
Watoto wadogo. I'm telling you from experience. 5-year-old wanajua mnachukua tupesa hapa. Ukisimamisha gari hata utaki kujua salamu. Habari yako?
I shouldn't even be laughing, man. This is so fucked up. I mean, and this has just become a normal thing in Kenya. Like, oh, it's a police officer. Where's my wallet, man? Where's my wallet? Like, what the fuck, man? So he's talking about you getting stopped over by a police officer. The first thing, he's not even going to ask you, like, how your day went or what's going on with your life. Oh, are you okay? Is everything fine? You could be fucking dying. You could be having a bleeding leg. He'll just be like, there, like, hey, you got like 50 shillings, bro.
License iko sawa? Haya leta DL. DL yekwe 50 ndani, yekwe 100 ndani.
So, fuck, man. Fuck. I can't believe this. So he's saying, like, when the traffic police officer stops you over, they tell you when you're handing over your driver's license to the police officer, make sure you put like a 50 shilling note inside the driver's license.
Ndani. Yekwe 200 ndani. Malori za mchanga haziwezi survive. Oh, lori za mchanga. My drivers kila siku. Sasa hiyo lazima ulipe squad.
Imagine now he's talking about the people who transport construction material. These are people who are transporting things that the fucking economy needs to run. They're trying to build infrastructure. They're being stopped constantly and being told to pay bribes.
Lazima ulipie mafuta, lazima ulipie mwenye lori, lazima ulipe watu wa kuangusha mchanga. Ndio hawa, nipatie 200 kila squad lazima walipe. Na washalipwa mishahara yao already, it has been catered.
Yeah, so that's the other thing he's just saying. Their salaries have been catered for. Their salaries, like you're a police officer, your salaries come in, but you're still here on the streets asking for more money.
Yes, ni kidogo, tunajua, but nobody can pay for your life. Police,
you know, it's like I asked a question, like, if I was not, let's say I wasn't working as a police officer, I was working as a normal 9-to-5 job and my salary was shit, does that also give me the right to then go and ask for bribes and use my power in whatever job that I'm doing? Let's say it's a government job. What gives me the right to go and do that? How fucked up is that? If you're not happy with your salary, why are you taking it out on the citizens?
Hata kama ulifika class 8, niko sure uwezi niambia juu ulifika class 8 hujui kuiba ni mbaya.
Oh, this is such a valid point. I love this guy, man. I'm so grateful that I found his content. So he says, even if you haven't studied well, like we know some police officers, then, you know, maybe they weren't gifted with the education wasn't, they're good. Like they weren't smart enough to get good grades in school, right? But he's like, even if you haven't passed like class 8 or whatever, right? He's talking about like preschool or whatever. You still know, it's common sense to know, like, stealing money is wrong.
Huwezi niambia, jumefika class 8, haungesikia ni kama tu wewe, you are a big brother. Wewe ukiwa ndugu yangu mkubwa, mimi nikiwa hapo, naamini kuwa utani protect. Naamini kuwa shida kitokea, niwenda kimbilia. Sasa huwezi kimbilia polisi kuomba usaidizi. Huwezi.
That's such a valid point. Fuck, man. It's like, man, this guy is just throwing points after points. Another thing about the police in Kenya, you can never feel secure when you see them. When you see the police, it's like you look for the thieves. Like, I'd rather sit next to a person who has killed 10 people. I'd rather be and hang out with that person than to hang out with a police officer.
Archives, kuna mapolisi wamepark magari pale.
Fuck, man.
Pale archives, okay? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 traffic police, service police. Aya, hapo mbele archives, pale karibu na Mr. Price, pale kuna hicho ya kanjo inaitwa nini? Public toilet. Hapo ndio wezi wa KCZ. Wanashikwanga wanapelekwa hapo. Wanashikwa hapo. Lakini wakati ya watu wanaiba, kuna pro box hapo. Polisi anakuaga ndani. Amekaa hapo, anachunga.
Now he's giving more details about like how these robberies are taking place and like how they're, man, it's just messed up.
Polisi in actually civilian. Mpaka watu wa viatu pale wanakujua. Wanasema ile ni gari ya polisi, kimbia hapa utasaidiwa. Sasa mtu atakimbiaje hapa asaidiwe na unaona mpaka hawezi wamesimama hapa next kwa hii pro box. Si utapigwa hapo uliwe polisi akiwa utoko ndani akiwa kwa simu anangoja yake. Mr. Sakaja, please, watu mkiget this video, let it reach out to Mr. Sakaja. We are just asking one question. Mbona hawa wezi wa archives KCZ wanashikwa wakirudishwa. Gari inakuwa bonded in a...
Oh, that's another valid point that he's just raised. It's like, fine, even if these people are caught, like these police officers are caught by their higher ranking officers, why are they let go and released back on the streets? So the question is, are they paying that money that they've stolen to their higher officers? And then, you know, it's like, imagine you live in a country where the law, the rule is like, you break some rule, but you get away with it by paying a fine. So it doesn't really affect the rich people, right? So if you're rich in Kenya, you can get away with anything. He's talking about, like, let's say these people steal 1 million Kenya shillings and their fine is like 10,000 shillings. That's a small pinch. They can pay that shit. I mean, they've already stolen all that money. They don't mind paying off a small fine. And that fine isn't really going into any system or anything like. It's going into the pockets of the people who are putting them in that position.
Why is that so, sir? Yes, our governor, Mr. Sakaja, the Nairobi governor, and the deputy governor, hawa watu, hawa wezi wa
4 days ago, man.
Archives. Hawa wanauza.
So you know this content is like
fake t-shirts kujita watu wa Safaricom. Juu Safaricom haishughulikangi, as long as transactions inafanya, they don't care. I'm asking you of a simple question. Why is this that hawa wezi wanashikwa si mara moja, sio mara mbili, sio mara tatu, mara karibu yote, lakini wanarudishwa hapo with new agents kuiba the same method, same way?
So he's talking about So Safaricom basically is a telecommunication company in Kenya that allows you to make network calls, and access data and internet and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, so they allow you to do mobile money transactions, where you can send money from mobile to mobile number to mobile number. And he's talking about these people who pretend to be Safaricom dealers and handing out these SIM cards or something, and they're illegally, I don't know exactly what the details are, but they're probably selling illegal SIM cards, or they're stealing money out of your phone numbers or something like that. And he's talking about these people, even if they are caught, why do they still, you find them the next day in the same position doing the same thing? You know, so it's like, what the fuck? You go to the police officers, you make a complaint, and then the same person is back on the street doing the same bullshit.
Wanaibia wazazi. Watoto wakienda shule unadanganywa, huyu laptop ni mzuri, sijui apate laptop nini. Unapata pesa yako imefagiliwa kwa M-Pesa yako. Mr. Sakaja, our governor, with all due respect, I did not want to do this video because sijui what is happening, but I am tired of seeing people being arrested for being thieves and then being released. Inamaanisha sisi we are not sisi ndio wezi basi. Hawa wako genuine, wanaiba, wanafaa kuiba, wako na license to steal. Just give them a license. Tujue tukipitia pale tunaibiwa na wezi wa archives, wako na license ya kuiba.
Yeah, that's it basically. He's just saying, like, if you've got the rights to do whatever you're doing, you're stealing money and you're stealing things from people, and you've got no accountability for it, and you can get away with it, then it might as well just be well known and give these people a license to steal. You know, let them carry on doing it, so at least we are aware who are the thieves.
Tujue mapolisi wote wa Nairobi, they have permit to steal. Waendelee tu kutuibia tukijuanga, Nairobi utaibiwa na polisi ni sawa. Alafu worse enough, the same police wanaenda to an extent kupatia watu wenye wanawaita informers. Tuko na evidence. Wanawaita informers. Hawa informers wanapatiwa mpaka pingu za zingine. Jamaa anakushika tu, anakuzungusha huko, akupeleki Pangani, akupeleki Central Police, anakuzungusha tu hapo OTC, anakupeleka huko chini, anakupeleka Mudhurwa, anakurudisha huko, mwisho anakuachilia. Anakupea 50 bob, anakuambia unampea 50 bob, anakuambia kwenda kabisa. Na sasa amekwestia time for having your ID. Am I supposed to carry my ID? Aya, nimebeba kamzigo kangu, nimenunua vitu tao. Inafaa nipeleke police station nibebewe ama nibebe vitu zangu? Okay, search. Hakuna kitu. Hebu kuja hapa, uko na mang'aa sana. Mbona nauliza polisi maswali? Nimebeba bag kwa mgongo. Bag is not searched. I'm supposed to pay 200. Pale afya center ni kubaya. OTC ni kubaya. Inaitwaje?
So
Railways ni kubaya. Mudhurwa ni kubaya. River Road ni kubaya.
So he's just mentioning some of the same incidences that have just happened. It's like,
Odion kwanza was traffic police wanaiba pesa hapo daily. Hata gari kama ndere hajafanya makosa lazima wapewe. Officer.
So basically he's back at the same point where he's just talking about the people that have not done anything. These are just innocent people just doing, carrying on along with their day, just trying to get things done. They're hustling, just trying to make ends meet. They've already got all the pressure of life and paying bills. And then they have to deal with this bullshit of getting caught and stopped by the police and asking and questioned and then paying bribes on a daily basis.
My question goes back to you. How do you want to retire? Unataka kubariki watoto wako aje? Wewe ofisa, wewe kila siku lazima uchukue. Lazima uchukue, usipochukua kichwa takuuma. Kuna maofisa fulani hapo, wanekanga pesa kwa ile mpesa ya... Wanekanga pesa kwa tu mpesa fulani hapo tunakuaga hapo Odion. After this Shell petrol station hapo. Kuna ofisa mama hapo mweupe. Alitoa kofia hivi, mapesa. Yani anashika mapesa hivi. Kwa kofia. Anapatia kijana hesabu.
So he's talking about some lady who was transporting money. Probably for, I think, to pay school fees or something, and she was carrying money in her hat because she did not want the police officers to see her, because she knew she was going to get stopped by the police officers, so she deliberately carried money in her hat so that they couldn't see that she had money on her. It's like, when they stop you, you're going to take out your wallet eventually, even if it's not for money, for your ID or something, your wallet is going to be out there, and they're going to have a look into your wallet. That's for a fact, right? So they look inside your wallet, they know, all right, so this is how much money you've got, and then they already start calculating how much money can I get off this guy. And so she literally had to carry her money in her.
Jana anahesabu pesa hata hizi shika moja, juu anajua huyu ni customer na atampea kitu kake. Na haina mbaba, haina mama, wote wanaiba. Wewe kama mwanamke unajua uchungu wa kuzaa mtoto. Unajua uchungu wa kukatwa na kikisu hapa atuzae huyo mtoto. Alafu wewe mwenyewe after kupitia uchungu uende ulaani mtoto kwa vitendo vyako. Na unajua, officer, I am talking to you as a brother. I have been in service for several times, but I have never tempted to take that which is not mine. Okay? I have never. Na kama niliiba nikiwa mtoto, na niliiba juu nahitaji na ni chakula mostly. Si kitu inaenda kuumiza mtu, mtu amekosa simu yake, mtu umechukua pesa yake aanze kutangatanga huku tao, akiomba tumalaya, nisaidie 50 bob, anatafuta machokora waombe. Squeeze hata wezi omba direction. You cannot ask for direction from a police officer. Heri tu endo.
Oh, this reminds me of the time that I asked for directions. Oh, I made a big, massive fucking mistake of ever asking for directions. You're asking for assistance from a police officer. They're gonna fucking catch you and be like, oh, actually show me your identification and show me your... There was something that I think he's going to mention it towards the end of the video, but we'll just watch it. They stopped me over and just asked me to pay them some money because or else they were going to take me to the court or arrest me or something.
Pote. Utauliza direction ushikwa, wewe ni mwizi hata ujui pale unaenda.
So he's saying that if you go and ask a police officer in Kenya for directions, they're going to tell you that you're a potential terrorist or a potential thief because you do not know where you're going. And how dare you not know where you're going? You're definitely a thief.
Officer mnajilaani. You might take it wrongly from me, but let me tell you.
Nah, man. You know what? I don't take anything wrong from you, bro. This dude is speaking the truth, man. I can't believe... I'm just completely shocked that his content is not making as much views as I would have hoped, like fucking Andrew Kibe here with his relationships and be a man and focus on yourself kind of bullshit. And this guy's here talking about what's happening to citizens on the daily.
Let me tell you for free. Do you want to retire like Mtiambai and others wenye tunajua chini ya maji? Huyu yake ni public. Bako lazima resign publicly. Tunajua these guys can never retire. They never want to promote us. Na mnajua saa zingine si watu munaachishwa kazi kwa sababu kuna ka promotion kanakuja.
Yeah, so that's exactly the same point that I just talked about earlier. It's like once they're in that position and they know that they're really milking the freaking citizens, that they can really manipulate the citizens and make as much money as possible from these people, then it's like, Why should I leave my position? Why should I give my position of power to the next younger generation? I don't want to do that because they're going to do their job legally the right way. And I don't want to do that. I want to be in power as much as possible. That's why you see all these fat, bloated police officers and you're like, what the freaking hell? Like his stomach is like 3 times the size of like, a normal person's belly. It's like he looks like a freaking frog and you're like, what the fuck, man? And it's from all the bribes that he's taken, all the money that he's stolen, and it's like, why would he leave? He is living a life so comfortable. Like, why would he leave?
Na unajua, wakubwa wataki, wakubwa. Na wakubwa ukiingia kwa manyumba zao watoto wana kwangaje? Cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, nini. Kulipia hiyo yenye mnafanya hii. Kuwaua watu kutupa sijui Rivayala. Wewe hata kama mkubwa wako amekupea order na unajua ni ya ujinga, si uilenge, heri usimamishwe kazi. Hiyo sio mwisho. Mimi nimekosa kazi sasa. Mimi nakaa kuombaomba huku nje. Yes, maisha ni ngumu kila mali, hata kwa kazi maisha ni ngumu bado.
It's the same point that he's just making, and I think he said it so perfectly. Right. Yes, the economy in Kenya is fucked up. Jobs are not sparse. Like, you cannot get a job as easily. And even if you do get a job, they really underpay you. Even it's almost probably below minimum wage, but people are doing it because they know that at least I'm doing the right thing. At the end of the day, when they go back home, they know that they've done an honest job. They've worked an honest living. They're not looking over their shoulders and feeling like someone's behind my back gonna catch me one day, or something bad's gonna happen to me because I've done something wrong in my life. Right? I've not wronged someone else. I've not taken advantage of someone else. I have put in a good amount of work. It's an honest day's living. Even if it's a shit salary, I've done my part, and I'm able to sustain myself. So at least, so he's talked about that. Like, and even if you've not been, making enough money, but you've done your job honestly, and you can stand and say, I've worked as an honest man.
Wanakufa on daily basis kujinyonga na hakuna serikali mali inaongelea. Alafu the same serikali position imekupea ndio wewe unataka kuumiza hawa raia. Serikali itakusahau. Mbona watu tusifikirie?
Yeah, so he's just asking the people.
Ni masoja wangapi ama mapolisi wangapi wanakuwa celebrated wakati wa mashujaa, wakati wa hizi holidays zote, isipokuwa Mr. Kidheri man? Yaani amwezi fungua macho muone hizi vitu zote. Ukae tu chini ujiambie yenyewe tumekuwa tukibebwa ndogo sana. It is time we start rethinking all this. Wase wakae chini waongee. Police officers wacheni kusumbua watu. Wacha. Hii ni laana unajiletea individually. Serikali itakuacha individually. Utakuwa umeitumikia individually. Ukatumia tools zake vibaya individually. Ni pesa za watu wangapi zimekuwa frozen kwa ma account site yenye tunaongea na mnajua? Na bado mnaendelea the same method. Mkubwa wako akikwambia ndio uitishe 50 bob, mwambie tuende na wewe. Wewe unaitisha mimi nakuwekea. Hata kuua. Si hata akupe transfer kwenda Marsabit, but you knowing that you've done what is just. How come in 1,000 police only 5 of them are innocent? Mukitaka mnichukie na noma. But I'll tell you for free policemen, whatever you're doing right now on the ground, your reputation is extremely bad. Na ukitaka
I absolutely agree with. I cannot disagree with this dude, man. Your reputation is absolutely fucked. It's completely fucked. And it's like the only way that you can regain the trust is like we just scrap all these people that have been in office for all these years, generations, decades. Scrap all of these people out of the office and just reinstate new police officers. I think that's the only way we can get rid of this corruption, man. It's just fucked up,
Kujua kama sifa yako ni mbaya, ngoja mtoto aite polisi ni mwizi, mlevi aite ni mwizi. Hivyo you are a hit in a very bad way.
Ooh, that's a valid point, and that's something maybe I should have thought about, but it's a good thing I'm not in the country, and maybe I think I can talk about it freely now. But it's like anyone who does bring this up and gets and talks about it, they've got a target on their backs. Obviously, they've got a target on their backs, and I think it makes sense why not a lot of people are man. I didn't even think about it like this. So he's raised a valid point. It's like, fine, even if you do then go on to social media and start talking about this kind of stuff, It's like you're putting a target on your back unless you do it anonymously. Unless you say, you know what, I'm going to create an anonymous account and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to out these people. But it's just...
Officers, tukae kabisa tujifikirie individually. Tuangalie from
That's why I salute this guy, man. I really salute this dude because what he's doing, he's putting his name, oh shit, man. He's putting a lot in jeopardy just so that he can speak the truth and tell us what's out there and what's going on the ground. And he's been there. He has worked as a police officer. So.
All those veterans, ama soja wameenda, ama polisi wakubwa wameenda, wameondokea.
Man.
What is their kind of life sahi? Kama unafurahia alikuwa naiba na siku hizi bado anaishi kama tajiri, anafanya tu tajiri wake, wewe endelea kuiba. Endelea kuiba kabisa, endelea kupiga watu, waumize, nyang'anya vijana wadogo, the future generation, endelea kuwaibia, endelea kuwanyanyasa kabisa. Siku zako zinakuja. Na sio kifo. Sikuombei kifo. Mimi nakuombea uishi miaka mingi sana, uteseke, ujue venye inauma ukibia mtu pesa. Ukisumbua tu watu.
He's actually wishing police officers a long life so they get to see at some point if the citizens do wake up and be like, you know what, enough is enough. Because I absolutely believe social media, you know, if you use it in the right way, I kind of feel like these platforms that we've got here right now, we got to use them in the right way. I just feel like if their mode of communication, you know, and there's a lot of false communication, a lot of negative clickbaity type of communication going on out there. And I feel like if we're not sitting here and using these platforms, us, the younger generation, well, I'm kind of relatively young, the younger generation, if we don't not use this platform to talk about these important things, then it's just going to be forgotten and we're going to be taken advantage of. And I feel like we, the younger generation, have the power if we use these tools at our disposal to actually send out this message and really resonate it in the population and into the country. And I kind of feel like it could make a difference. You know, if we do not stand together and speak up, we will fall together under their abusive powers. You know.
Juu uko na bunduki na uko na uniform. Unaharibu your uniform. You are losing the respect of this uniform. Kila siku unafanya upuzi. Unapaka matope polisi. Muache kupaka. The police actually had a lot of dignity. Hakuna kitu ilikuwa kitu ya maana hapa Kenya kama polisi. Hakuna mtoto mwenye alikuwa nazali.
I think the question is, is it maybe because of their salaries or the way that they were treated poorly by... So that's another question you got to ask. So try and look at the story from both sides, right? If you're a police officer and you're being mistreated by your senior or your line manager or whoever has appointed you in duty and he's taking advantage of you, is it maybe because of that? Is it maybe the people in higher offices who have been there for longer than the new incoming officers that coming in that are, you know, treating you and mistreating you and teaching you the wrong thing to do and showing you how to get away with, you know, all this corrupt shit? Because if that's the case, then it's just a matter of removing, you know, the people who have been, you know, those in those senior roles and then replacing them completely. If that's the case, then or it could be another case could be made is maybe the citizens themselves have become so naive and so how would I say soft that when they see a police officer, they completely give in and just allow that police officer to just take advantage of him, you know. And you know, I kind of feel like it's almost 50-50 because I remember when I was a kid and I was there, it's like when you'd see a police officer, you would get this sudden fear instilled in you and you would completely just give in. Even if this person was a decent police officer and he came and he approached you the right way, you would still feel that fear because of all the rumors and stories that you've heard, and you just give in. You know, you wouldn't stand your ground. So it could be maybe lack of information. People are not aware of their rights, you know, the procedures and the things that they need to put in place when they get approached by a police officer. What do I need to say? What questions do I need to ask this police officer to even identify himself as a police officer? I remember so many times that I was stopped. I did not have the knowledge and skills, and I said, I could have just asked him point blank, like, show me your freaking identification. Are you even a police officer? Especially a police officer who's just walking around with a black coat and shows you a gun doesn't really mean he's a police officer. That could be a fucking thug right there, right? So you got to ask yourself, right? So are you educated enough, right? Are you giving in to these threats, and do you know your rights as a citizen, right? And then of course the hierarchy of how this whole thing plays out, it's like the people in the higher offices, higher levels, how are they mistreating the officers at the lower levels, you know? And then that aggression is now being taken out on the citizens.
Liwa, anajua kuna kitu inaitwa polisi, hatamani kuingia polisi, hata kama ata end up kuwa daktari, akuwe daktari lakini kwa polisi. Saa hii mtoto anamwambia you have to be a police officer. Haya, yuko labda sasa anaenda kuiba, siwezi kuwa police officer. Wacheni kuharibu jina ya polisi. Central Police Station is known to be the most corrupt. Wacheni kuharibu jina ya hiyo police station. This thing has been having a reputation for the longest period. Lakini ofisa wenye mko hapo, mpaka yani kuna wezi wanajulikana, wakikuja wakiletwa hapo nasikia sawa, tutamshughulikia. We ndugu bwana, unajua si umeshikwa sana wewe sasa. Hii ni mara ya 50 umeshikwa, tena tunakuachilia. Wewe toa sasa 2000.
I kind of feel like there's so much that we can talk about. I can go on for days and days, and I have stories and I have videos. We've already gone an hour in, and I wanted to share stories about this property, and, you know, and how my dad had just really suffered. And I even wanted to talk about this, the Netflix documentary that I came across. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to mention it, but we're almost done with this video.
Hiyo 500 yako hapana. Wezi. Yani ni mwizi anaitisha mwizi mwenzake ya macho. Police officers, let this be a wake-up call.
I don't know, man. Yes, I kind of get it. Yes, it is like a wake-up call. It's a warning shot, basically. That's what this is. But the question is, will it really resonate? Do you think that this kind of content will get out there and maybe make a difference? I'm only one person. This guy's only one person. We need to come together, and we need to stand together and say, fuck the police when they're mistreating citizens. And I mean, it doesn't make sense. You know, the thing that really pisses me off, right? The same things happen in other countries. Like there was a time that there was that incident with George Floyd and the whole thing. And that was in the States, man. And Kenyans were all over the place. And you could see Twitter going crazy and social media going crazy. But what's happening in your own freaking home, man? You guys ain't doing jack shit, man. I'm not seeing enough content on YouTube. I'm not seeing enough content about this, and the way the police are treating you people, man. I just feel like we all need to stand up together and just say, we can't take this bullshit anymore. Enough is enough, man. We can't let this we can't just let this keep going on, because it's like, I just feel before we get to that point where there's no going back, there'll be a time when the citizens will be so pissed off, and they'll reach their boiling point, their tipping point, and they might end up going rogue. There might be some smaller guerrilla governments that are going to be forming within the country that will then take over the government. You know, it could be something like that. Some riots will break out. So before we get to that stage, why don't we come together, make a platform, or talk about it, let it resonate, let it go, let this kind of content go viral. Let what this guy is saying, even if it's not my content, but at least what this guy is saying, go viral. You know, let it resonate within the country. Let the police officers know that they're being called out for the bullshit that they're doing.
Haina haja utake kutoroka inchi kwa sababu umekuwa ukitesa mtu fulani, sasa amepata mamlaka, unajua utalilia kwa choo. Let us do what is just. Ukipata mtu ako na makosa, unajua your work, you know what you're supposed to do. Kwa gari, traffic police, mkipata mtu ama gari kwa na makosa, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. Munaitisha pesa, mtu akichoka kwa pesa mnampiga. Munaleta mpaka makosa ingine mnamwekelea yenye hakuna.
Yeah, so he's talking about false accusations, all these fake accusations that the police officers keep putting on these random citizens that they just suddenly catch. All this bullshit needs to fucking stop, man. Enough is enough. I love the few videos that at least get posted about how people are like just going. They're like, I've had it, man. I can't take this bullshit anymore. So they lash out, and before it gets worse, before we reach that point of no return where the country goes rogue, the citizens go crazy, and they just take over the government in a way that maybe we can't recover from. There'll be massive riots and all that kind of stuff. Before that happens, if we can somehow come together, put this stuff, let it go viral, let it hit the people that need, let it reach the people that need to be reached with this kind of content. Instead of posting content of like, oh, this person's dating that person and this woman has a fat butt. I mean, what the fuck are we doing, man? We have the platform, we have the tools. Why don't we just talk about this today? These are the thieves. These are the thieves that we need to talk about. So anyway, guys, I kind of feel like I'm running out of time. It's like I wanted to go through, okay, we can watch this video because this is a video of a guy in Singapore. So I think we'll watch this video and then we'll call it a day. I think the other video regarding my dad's property and all these other things, I think we'll talk about this at another session. In fact, I think it would make sense to have it as a completely separate session, because it's also another long story, and I don't think we'll have time for that. I mean, I'm already an hour in, an hour 20. So let's quickly watch this video. And so this is a guy in Singapore, and remember, and I've mentioned this multiple times before, when Kenya got independence, 1963, I guess. Singapore and Kenya were together like that. They were together in terms of their GDP and everything, and their economy and their infrastructure. They were together. This is Singapore today, and just watch this video and I'm just completely shocked.
This country has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, so today I'm leaving my laptop at a random Starbucks for 1 hour, not telling anyone to watch it, and then I'm gonna go somewhere.
This guy is leaving his man, if you ever try doing this in Kenya, you don't even need to leave it there, man. I was just having another joke with one of my friends. He was like, you just leave your whatever you've bought, you've just left it on the table, and you just look the other way like this for like 2 seconds. You look back, it's gone. You don't need to leave it there. That's how fucked up it is.
To have lunch.
Singapore has pretty much learned how to eliminate crime.
Singapore had 250 days in a row without common types of crime.
250 days. I don't even think 250 milliseconds can go by in Kenya without a crime.
That means nobody got their phone stolen.
Someone bumping into you, someone like stealing your phone or something. There's so much theft, and it's not only the thieves, it's the freaking police that are helping and
Stolen for more
shit.
than 8 months in the whole country. So now that I got my drink, I'm gonna go get lunch.
After leaving my laptop at the Starbucks, I go to a mall nearby and walk around to try and find lunch.
Look at this dude. He left the laptop and just walking around the mall.
There are 3 reasons for such crazy low crime rates. Number 1, honesty and fairness is a big part of the culture here. Number 2, basic needs are met. So people don't feel like they...
Exactly. So it also comes down to basic needs, right? So if the jobs are paying you well, the economy is running well, if the government has done their job in making sure that the economy is running smoothly and that there is cash flow and people are being paid well above the minimum wage and they're able to fend for themselves and take care of themselves, there wouldn't be this shit in the first place. The other point that he makes is the crime, the
need to resort to crime. Its economy and government programs make it so most people here live pretty well. You will never see a homeless person. And number 3 is surveillance. There are cameras
so there's a lot of surveillance, and there's hardly any homeless people
everywhere that protect against crime. And the consequences of stealing are crazy high.
Yes, the consequences of stealing, exactly. What is the fine if you get caught stealing something? You'd just probably pay like 10% of what you've stolen. If you've stolen like 10,000 kind of shillings, you'll just pay like a small tiny fine, or you'll probably just end up bribing someone who's caught you with it. You'll do 50-50 with your stealing and with what you've stolen, and then both of you can get away, and it's like there's no consequences for that, and you can just go and keep doing it. If you were a professional thief and every time you went and robbed something and then you were told, oh, okay, even if you were caught, you'll just pay like a small... There are politicians who have stolen billions. I don't want to go into like a lot of details, but they've stolen billions. I'm not even talking millions, I'm talking billions, and then they're fined millions. Million and a billion. a million is like pocket change. Like if you've stolen 1,000 pounds and your fine is like £1 or like, I don't know, like 100 pounds. It's nothing, right? You still get to keep 900. It's like, what the fuck, man?
It's now 1:15 and I walk into the Starbucks. Sure enough, it's still there.
Wow. That's amazing, guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. For those of you that did check it out, I really do appreciate it. I mean, it has just been one hell of a journey. There is still so much that we need to talk about, and I will be posting. I will be sharing more of this guy's content as well, and I think at some point I will share more about what my dad went through and what basically I'm going through, and how the Kenyan high courts are also so corrupt. The police is so corrupt, and I think I might have a second session for this, and we'll go through this, and I'll share my story of even having video evidence. I'm not even fucking lying. So even having video evidence of it's a very old video. I'm going to share this video, and it's like you can see police officers and lawyers are there. It's a very old video. I took it with my handy. I had a small camera, and we'll go through this video, and I'll explain the whole story, and we'll have another session for this. And it's like, even when you have all the right documents, you have video evidence, and still the people who have the money can get away with murder. It's messed up. We're living in a messed up country. I mean, there's so much things that are wrong, that are broken, and if we don't speak up, I don't know if anything's gonna ever be done. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I wish you guys a fantastic weekend. I'll probably try and do a live tomorrow or day after, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, peace. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll catch you guys in the next one.